Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know.
We are just across the Allegheny River from downtown Pittsburgh at rain-soaked Heinz Field in the Steel City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Miami Dolphins and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Set. Ken Lobo.
Check, check. Lucky, lucky, lucky. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
666. Pull it high.
44. Check 44.
Cut.
Joker. Joker. Switch.
Hey, Haywood. Snap.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Rush coming, and he's taken down. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14. He's going to wind up and air it out. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. Back deep for the Steelers, Ryan Switzer. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Here's Switzer. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. First carry for James Conner. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on second down. Holly. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
That's good for us Steelers.
Ready? 60 or.
First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Johnson's got it complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Second and 9 now. For the catch made by Johnson. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 30.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. Back to throw. Holly. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Shotgun handoff to Samuels. Kendall Fuller in on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
You draw Corker. Hey, Charlie. Get it.
On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. On the draw, Connor. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Hey, let's get some penetration here.
Protein spill.
45's the mic. 45's the mic. Watch this.
From the gun on 3rd down. Holly. And this is going to be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. 30, the 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Miami. So from one end zone all the way to the other. Talk about a turnaround.
And how about the excitement that play generates for his team? Not just the points on the board, but the momentum and taking it from coast to coast, end zone to end zone. What a tremendous play. Now get that man an oxygen tent.
That's your boy Old Mo, you said. Momentum, right?
Old Mo, I think he's kind of limping across at the end because of that distance, but he made it.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Got it.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
I don't even know why this team showed up. Hey, check Mike 45. Check Mike 45.
Throwing again. Holland. Looking left side, and it's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard
Go
line.
now. 70, Indy. Go.
Throwing on 1st down. Holly. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Looking to throw. Holly finding some room at midfield. He's got this complete to Ryan Switzer. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
Set. 60, Pittsburgh.
Let's go.
On 3rd and 2, Holly. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And it'll be Dolphin football.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
At the 21-yard line.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
22 jet bombers. 22 jet bombers.
2nd and 10. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Frank. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
To number 84. A 5-yard pickup on the play. And it's 3rd down.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. 6-0 our score after 1.
Steelers nothing.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
Hey, you're on the 9 over there. You're on the 9. Watch 23. Watch 23. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Get it.
They'll set up to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Pick me up. Here we go.
Hey, seam six. Seam six.
Silver. 45's the mic. 45's the mic.
Ready.
To throw again. Holland. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. It's a big play there for the Steelers. 43 yards. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10 is Connor. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Devon Godchaux up to make the tackle.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Raekwon McMillan. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
Set, ready, 8, read.
Check 55 to Mike. You must be getting tired of seeing me.
Hey, zoom.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Holland. And that is incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
They run again on 1st down. Peterson. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. That one caught out wide by Boykin. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Ready, ready.
57, Mike 57. Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten up. Check it backer, check it backer.
61, matchbox lights. Hit it.
First down, here's a run with Peterson. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
General West.
A give to Peterson out of the gun. And he'll get this pretty close to a first down as he's tackled at the Steelers' 40-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. They'll run it. Here's Peterson. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Give them the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. This taken in by Jakeem Grant. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
No. Pilot, 64, weak. Hey, foxtrot. Ready.
2nd and 4. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
On 1st down, Holly. Flushed out right. He's going to take off with it. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
On 1st and 10, Holly. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Back to throw. Holly. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Wait a second. They declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how any time you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back. Let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
Hey, look,
3-6-6, pull it high. Go. Go.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Devin Bush Coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
They're going to look to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Ready! 60 or.
Here's Peterson. He's got it on the draw. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11, and he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
On the ready.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first. That one into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
2nd and 5. He's going to launch it for Washington. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Let him know.
Hey, Echo.
Mike 5-5, Mike 55, Mike 5-5.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. Ready?
From the gun on 3rd down. Pollard. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction.
Let's go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get into field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them mid-order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it right here.
So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
Let's go now. 30 base.
That's right, baby. They don't want it.
Hey. Mike 7.
Mike 20, Mike 20, Mike 20. I'm off. You better bring it. Hey, Mike 20, Mike 20. Coming to you, coming to you.
Hey, orbit.
Tick down.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
You draw Corker.
51. It's our field. It's our field.
Let's go.
Now a run with Peterson. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So, boy, that's already the third they burn here. They are out of timeouts now before we've even hit the fourth quarter. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Check 9, check 9.
Protein spill. Hey, seam 6. Seam 6.
Mike 45. Check Mike 45. Hey, check. 45's the Mike. 45's the Mike. I got you, boy. I got you, boy.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jerome Baker able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked by Kendall Fuller. Fighting through it. He's got space. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on.
Fine. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Ready?
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Get it.
Throwing after the interception. Holly. Complete. It's Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, zoom. Snap.
Looking to throw. Holly. He finds his man Johnson. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Holly. And he's going to have the hook up to QT. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Connor. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Down here in the 3rd quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case.
And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of the team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to a stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Johnson the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's 2nd down and 10.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Rock it, rock it. Let's go.
Throwing again. Holly. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 40. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. Johnson was the intended receiver. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Under a heavy rush, rushing down he goes. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. But the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield.
And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jakeem Grant, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. A throw over the middle, taken in. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. Throwing on first down. Holly, he's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he'll be marked down deep on Miami's side of the field. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 49 yards.
First and 10 at the 10-yard line.
So now following the big play, they've got a first and goal all the way down at the 10. From the gun, Holly got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. From 10 yards out, and the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Leo!
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Hayward just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
to throw here. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for Miami. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
At their own 27-yard line.
Ready.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
Check.
On first down, Polley escaping the pressure right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Got out of the pocket, didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it, live to fight another down.
He gets this one to Johnson. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Steelers on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Yes.
That's me. 45. Mike, 45. Hey, defense, let's go.
Go.
Check Mike 45. Hey, get in the weight room. 45's the mic.
Get it.
On 4th down, Polley nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jerome Baker, and the Dolphins get the football in great field position.
Let's go. 50. Plant. 80 weapon.
SOS.
Now.
A 10th carry now for Peterson. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Grant. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
61. Matchbox lights.
2nd and 11. Eluding and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. T.J. Watt able to record his 5th sack of the season.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, it's a give to Peterson. And Peterson, what happened? He lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Gold is able to put it through, and that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The Steelers on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 17.
He's coming, double up. Check.
Hey, exit. Let's go.
Operating from the gun. Holly. And now here's another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands.
At the 38-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Heavy on the edges.
Topper.
We got double up.
Here's 2nd and 8. And his throw here's incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. The Dolphins on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 8. Now back to throw. Here's a screen to Powell. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They run. Peterson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami 1st.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Here's Peterson. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that, and when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. You've got to find a good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
On 1st and 10, Holly. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for the Steelers. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead will be cut down to 14. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Dolphins are going to recover. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. 2nd and 9 now. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Frank. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Another tote for the workhorse here this afternoon, Peterson. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
You draw quarter.
3 down. Hey, check. 3 down. Let's go.
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Come on, set, 50, plant. Hey, wahoo!
4 down. Check. 4 down.
Protein spill. Speak up.
Now Peterson. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This to make it a 3-score game late. And the 39-year-old veteran puts it right through, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Let's go now.
The Pittsburgh
Hey,
offense at the line to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. On 3rd down, Holland. Got an open man, it's QT. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 27-yard line. Throwing on 1st down, Holland. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Mike Hughes. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for Miami, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3, and they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on
The young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish, nah. The story flip if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest since Tupac in imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any